But then you actually see it and you realize, like, look at how big he is. Oh my God,
I've
he's
seen
tall.
his work. Yeah.
Yes, that's a giant. Yeah, that's like the size of my forearm. Oh my God,
I've
he's
seen
tall.
his work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, never tell anybody outside the family what you're thinking again. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. You know, every now and then the podcast gods hand us an episode that blows our minds, and that's exactly what we got from The Fighter and the Kid this week. On episode 951, Bappa and his side boy had Adam22 on for a chat, and the result was a deep forensic look into the minds of two of the biggest degenerates on the internet. But just tell me this though, how is it even possible that Bappa made Adam22 look like the good guy? Alright, so let me break this down. For those of you who don't know, Adam Grandmason is a YouTuber who started out riding BMX and then got into interviewing other riders, then moved into the hip-hop scene, which somehow led him into making smash films, which is where his notoriety came from, and he started to blow up. Now, the thing that differentiates Adam from other smash artists is that he does them with his wife, Lena the Plug, and one other woman on his podcast. So it starts out as just a normal conversation and then turns into a double-dipping party by the end. It's truly groundbreaking stuff.
But also
100%.
Yeah, and you're also the only one doing it. Like, you're the guy.
Yeah.
You know, like there's nobody else like, oh, Adam does it like this. Like his point.
Well, nobody's doing a
Plug
podcast where you have a porn star on and then you have sex with them.
But also with your wife.
Plugtalk.com.
Yeah,
Yeah.
plugtalk.com.
Only plugtalk.com. Shout out to
but also
you guys for mentioning that.
with your wife.
Yeah.
Like the stars aligned for you to be the face of this movement.
Every guy's like this. Every guy's like, hey, that sounds like a really good time.
Well, at
I'll
a
put it
certain
on
point-
tonight and be like, you believe this?
At a
It's just-
certain point, we kind of realized, like, oh, all we got to do is just push the limits and do more and more risque shit, and the media will just latch onto it and have to talk about it. So that's why we just did a game show trying to find a guy to f my wife.
Yeah, did you
with.
notice they did like the Bachelorette, but for porn. And he funded himself, shot himself. The winner gets to f his wife.
Yeah, so Adam has well and truly pushed the plug with his content, and like you just heard, him and his wife just released a game show stylized in the format of those cringy bachelor shows, except this time, the prize was getting to pull out Lena's plug. Now, I'm going to bring Bappa into this in just a moment. I mean, the guy's asking for it. But one thing you've got to know about Adam is a smash film that he organized earlier this year, starring his wife, Lena the Plug, and Bappa's crush, Jason Love, spelled L-U-V, because he likes to make love. Cringe.
Oh my God,
Yeah, I've
he's
seen
tall.
his work. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so because Adam is an internet personality and he publicly announced what he was planning, also it was going to be the first smash film his wife would be doing without him, it divided the internet. On the one hand, there are all the guys that took it too seriously and thought it was a symptom of the rot in the world, and then there are the rest of us who just think the whole thing was stupid and funny, and to sell the video even more, afterward Adam and Jason Love started this fake beef to draw attention to the video, and Adam ended up fake banning him from going near his wife ever again or whatever. So the whole thing was just one big cash cow at the end of the day. But this is why Adam is so controversial. You've got all these red pill grifters telling us how to be men and handle our women, and then you have this guy selling his wife to the biggest bidder and then putting out the video.
Like, obviously, you get a ton of promotion. People love it, and you get a ton of hate.
Oh yeah.
And then it's like the whole narrative, like, oh, Adam's this. I'm like, oh, he's laughing all the way to the bank, though.
Yeah.
Like, you guys can say that, sure, and to each its own. Like, I don't give a f what you do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's your own personal thing you want to do. So I don't know why people care. But like, oh, this guy's a. I'm like, yeah, but you realize he's laughing all the way to the bank while doing this.
Yeah, also,
that's why he's doing it.
You're making a relationship work for 8 years. That's an accomplishment.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think
There's a connection you guys have.
us doing shit with other guys on camera, I think it, if anything, it kind of makes everything feel a little bit more fair in our relationship, because we went all these years where I probably f***ed like 300 girls with her over the years on camera and a handful off camera. And, you know, it's just, it really doesn't matter that much to us. Like, I could totally imagine her, like, the difference is, though, is like all the guys that we would ever potentially do content with, it's just they're guys. Like, we think of them as like, it's like getting a plumber.
So this is the thing, right? Let's just break this down for a minute. We've got this Adam22 character who married Lena the Plug, who, mind you, started out as a social media guru, and then when they got together, they figured out how they could get all this attention and break through the podcast ceiling. They also have a kid together. They seem to have this arrangement going that they're both comfortable with. They're making a killing on OF, and they're basically a meme at this point. But then we have Mr. Family Man Brendan Schaub. He's a picture of success. He went from bombing in college football to bombing in the UFC to bombing on stage. And aside from his success, some of you may not know this, he's actually got a reputation for being a complete sleazebag. There are countless stories of Bappa slipping into younger chicks' DMs, hooking up with baddies on the side, and some of the stories aren't just rumors, he's actually admitted to them.
That story that I told took place 7 years ago, long time ago.
You're referring to DMs.
Right.
Which I own and was completely stupid never should have done.
Okay. On saying that, because hitting on someone is just simply not a cancelable offense. That was my justification for it. Who the cares who hits on who 7 years ago? I had fake then. They were shiny. You liked them. You DM'd me. You said sorry. It, right?
I'm with you.
Okay.
I own that. Yeah.
Good.
Okay, so you're probably thinking, that happened so long ago, Bappa's a family man, his family's growing, he's learning to keep his Twinkie in his pants and stay on track. All that stuff is in his past, right? Well, maybe not. Recently, Bappa was caught out trying to hook in with an Instagram baddie who ended up tagging his wife and telling her to come and get her man. Here's how it went down. He was DMing this chick. It looks like she may have sent him a reverse selfie, judging by the peach emoji. But then for some reason, she ghosts him. But then Bappa managed to get her attention again, to which she replied, "I'm horrible. I'm not good at texting. I'm not attached to my phone, etc." So Bappa forgives her and goes in for the kill shot. He says, "When do I see you tomorrow? I land around 2. Show isn't till 7:30, so I can hang before 6 p.m. and obviously after 2. Up to you, babes." But instead of replying, this little baddie decided to screenshot the convo and tag Bappa's wife, telling her to come and get her man. Oh man. Now, let's bring Adam22 back into this for a moment. No matter what you think about what he does and how he makes money, you can't deny that he's completely transparent. Obviously, he's got a business arrangement with his wife and they're both on the same page. They smash baddies together and she occasionally gets a bite of the cherry herself. Look, it's not really my thing, I've never watched any of their videos, but they are who they are and it is what it is. Our boy Bappa, on the other hand, is the complete opposite. He's constantly causing drama between his friends, he's got a reputation for chasing baddies on Instagram. Sorry guys, I just love saying the word baddies. Yet he claims to be a loyal family man, a successful businessman, and just an all-around great guy. Check him out in this clip showing his emotional side.
Hey boo, me and the boys. We just wanted to let you know that we are super proud of you, especially me. I am so proud of everything that you have accomplished, everything you've done, all the years that we've been together, the family that we have built. I'm really proud of you, and the boys are too. Tiger, do you want to say something to your daddy?
I hope you have a good show. Love you.
He hopes you have a good show. Bossy, do you want to say something to your papa?
Uh-huh.
Say good luck.
They won't.
I love you, Daddy.
Oh, Daddy.
We love you, Boo, and we are so proud of you. Congratulations on your special. We can't wait to see it.
Man, the guy's got the cutest family, seriously. Anyway, if you want to see more of those clips and the context around them, go and check out my video titled, "Is It Okay to Hate Brendan Schaub?", where I do a full breakdown of why he's the most hated man on the internet and why it's okay to hate him. But that's exactly why Bappa managed to make Adam22 look like the good guy on episode 951 of The Fighter and the Kid. The whole time, Brendan and Bryan Callen were asking him about all these videos that he's done, what his thinking behind everything is, where he wants to go with it, what his vision is, and Adam seemed like he was being open and honest. He seemed comfortable in his own skin. And I said this the other day in my video breaking down Shane Gillis's recent appearance on JRE, how the bar is so low now because all these guys have their dirty laundry on the street that it doesn't take much to be impressed by someone who seems like they're simply comfortable in their own skin. I mean, only Bappa could make Adam22 look good, right? But then the podcast took a turn and Bryan Callen touched on something that absolutely had me in stitches. The lack of self-awareness in this next clip is almost as mind-blowing as Bubba's ability to string a sentence together.
Think about how many podcasts and how many people are out there. And some people somehow are able to stay relevant. That's really difficult.
Yeah, and it keeps just getting more and more cluttered and more competitive. You know, it's pretty wild.
I know.
Especially now, like, do you want to listen to like random dudes talk about sports, or do you want to watch like these retired athletes who are insane, like world famous, talk
Like
about
Hall
sports?
of Famers.
Yeah, this is like totally foreign to me because I don't know about sports like that. But like my friends have told me, like, yeah, the whole sports marketplace has been changed because, you know, you could be an analyst, but a lot of these people want to listen to Shaq. They want to listen.
Or they have the Kelsey brothers, like they're both, one plays for the Chiefs, one plays for the Eagles.
Right,
and they're breaking
yeah.
down football.
I'm gonna listen to
or
that.
I can listen to Joe and Billy, who they happen to be fans.
Yeah.
Or you can listen to two Hall of Famers.
Okay, so Brendan's got his solo podcast called The Schaub Show under his Thick Boy brand, which he stole from Tom Segura and just added an extra C. And on his weekly show, he breaks down the latest fights and gives tips and hot takes. And I'm not going to lie, look, sometimes I watch it to see what he thinks as a former UFC fighter, which I think is where he should focus his energy. I've said this before, Bubba's solo shows are infinitely better than anything else he does because once you put him in a room where he has to talk to other people, he just completely falls apart, overthinks everything, tries to be funny, and just embarrasses himself every time he opens his mouth. But on The Fighter and the Kid, and sometimes on JRE's Fight Companion, they have Bryan Callen on there. He's basically a washed-up D-list Hollywood actor and a hack comedian. So Adam was just saying how nobody wants to watch some random fans talking about sport, yet that's exactly what Bryan Callen does. Hang on. Let me be fair though. Callen does actually have his own YouTube channel called Bryan Callen, and that's where he posts his own solo podcast called The Bryan Callen Show. Did you guys know he had his own podcast? I seriously didn't know until recently. But check out some of the views on his YouTube channel. Like, seriously, dude, it's time to let it go. Nobody's watching. And so then when I was traveling around his website, I found this on his podcast page. It says, Bryan Callen is a podcasting... Bryan Callen is a podcasting powerhouse. He has hosted several popular podcasts and knows how to keep audiences entertained, engaged, and coming back for more. The Fighter and the Kid, a podcast he hosts with Brendan Schaub, is one of the most popular on iTunes. Oh, so that's where everyone watches it. Anyway, people love The Bryan Callen Show, Bryan's new solo podcast. You can hear all the episodes on your favorite podcast app or watch each week on Bryan's YouTube channel. Bryan is also a regular on the Joe Rogan Experience and Fight Companion podcasts. So let this sink in for a moment, right? Bryan Callen has a regular spot on the biggest podcast in the world, but his solo podcast struggles to break 10,000 views on YouTube, and he has guests. I mean, he's not even failing upwards, he's just failing. And he's the one lecturing us about there being too many podcasts out there. You seriously couldn't make this stuff up. But wait, guys, because it gets better. So, going back to The Fighter and the Kid, Adam was saying how he did his own research on who Bryan Callen is and his background before coming on the podcast, and they were all having a laugh about it. They were joking about Steven Crowder being Bryan's boss, etc. So then Adam explains how he was watching a commentary video on YouTube about Bryan Callen, which played the clip on JRE from years ago where Bryan tried to act tough and Rogan absolutely roasted him. So for those of you who haven't been blessed with this gift, I put a little bit of an edit together for you to break it all down.
Remember Rogan like really got on your ass because you're talking about like how you beat everybody in the whole world up?
Yeah, but I was making a joke. That's what they don't realize.
I got reminded of
Brendan and I I was going into a bit because I was going, and I'll f you up. And he goes, oh, this is where Bryan thinks he's tough. And I go, you cut me off. And I just saw that and realized that was it. You know what happened to me? I got bullied for a full year, and it turned me into if somebody tried to bully me, I'll show up at your house and kill you. That's what happens. I get so angry.
I'm not buying that.
I hate when he talks
remotely.
like that. I hate when...
Hey,
That's
bro,
not true.
You bully me.
If I
you try bullying me right now, motherfucker. Hold on, let me handle this.
Here's the problem. You've talked to too many guys that let you say shit like that, and then it becomes like vernacular. It becomes like a part of the way you talk.
This is what I do. Bryan, look at me.
People that I know.
Hold on, he's got something to say. No, do you remember that when I was going to go?
How long ago?
I was going. I was about to. It was a long time ago.
5 years
yeah,
ago.
Yeah,
so
more. And I was about to go like this. I was about to go. Yeah, and I was going to go. And I'll tell you something else. You come at me. You better come at me correct. I was going to joke around with you.
Yeah.
And he thought I was being tough.
When I first met you, all those people you used to hang around with, those are all toxic, and they've ruined the way you're allowed to communicate with people.
No, it's true.
Because they said stupid shit, and then you said stupid shit.
For me, bro. Look at how what do you have to say to me?
Bro, I watched a scary movie with him.
Bro, I'm gonna have to shut this podcast off.
Not yet. Not yet. We have to, hold on.
I watched a scary movie with him, and it was the most annoying thing ever.
Tell you what,
He goes,
this guy.
I wish a demon would grab me, man. You know what I would do?
So now it says Joe Rogan straightens out tough guy Bryan Callen. I saw that and I was like,
that's good.
I was like, hey, I was doing a bit, but I got stopped in the middle of it, and it sounded like I was trying to be tough.
That does make way more sense, because I remember watching like one of these little YouTube commentary videos talking about it, and I'm just thinking in my head, like, what the f is Bryan doing? Like, you're in a room full of fucking MMA fighters, and you're talking like you're a god.
Right.
And I was just like, that is weird. Like,
of course it's weird. I would never do that.
That does make a lot more sense.
Yeah, I was literally about to go into a bit, and I didn't even realize that was
so sometimes you will do that.
No.
I'd have to
I would never do that, because I was cutting you off, and I was saying something about how I was going to beat you up. Yeah. You bully me, bro. I don't give a about your UFC bullshit. I will come right at you.
I could pin you on the ground right now and put my in your mouth.
You could try.
For no reason.
You could try, and guess what?
Just because it's the nice
Guess
Saturday.
what? I would come right to your house. Bang, bang, bang.
No, you'd be dead.
Joe.
Would I?
Yep.
He needs friends like us, because he gets around saying that with guys who don't know.
Well,
can't wait to
hangs
box
around
today.
with
I can't
a
wait.
lot of idiots.
He started telling me how that I was around toxic people, and I was like, oh, geez, this is. I was like,
went south.
I know. I was like, I don't feel good right now.
That has to be one of the most perfect interactions between Rogan, Bryan, and Bupper that I've ever seen, because it perfectly captures the essence of all three of them in one clip. Bryan's trying to be funny, but he tries too hard and it doesn't work out. Bupper's trying to run with the joke, but he gets caught up desperately agreeing with Rogan, and Rogan completely misses the joke and it goes over his head. I mean, it's just perfect. So then, after bringing up that bit that went wrong from Callen's past, Adam saw that Bryan was getting upset, so he suggested they end the podcast and jump over onto Adam's podcast feed, which ended with Bupper and Adam spit roasting Bryan on the black couch. Now, I obviously can't show any clips from that extended show, so you have to take my word for it, but you didn't miss out on much. It was basically just Bupper yelling out, "Who's my favorite baddie?" and Callen replying with, "You are daddy," over and over again. And yeah, it got kind of boring after a while. Come on, guys, it's Friday. Cut me some slack. Anyway, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all this. And if you haven't subscribed yet, consider jumping on board so you get all my uploads right there in your feed. Thanks for joining me. I'll catch you in the next one.
But then you actually see it and you realize, like, look at how big he is. Oh my God,
I've
he's
seen
tall.
his work.
Yeah.